Hi, welcome to my presentation about chirocare. At chirocare, we aim to provide pain and illness relief, improve natural healing, and promote true health and wellness through chiropractic care. Millions of Americans live with pain and illness daily, and they spend thousands of dollars throughout their lives trying to eliminate these symptoms or to alleviate their suffering. And what we know is that chiropractic care can solve a lot of these problems and to help these Americans. And it's often at a more cost-effective price than traditional medical care. So when we got this idea together, we put together an MVP demonstration, since our product is a service, where we did brief adjustments taking only a few minutes, provided by Dr. Shannon. We changed small things that received feedback from people we worked with. So we learned two important things. One, that the longer doesn't always mean better for time of adjustments. Anything after 10 minutes seemed to be the quality or the results of the adjustment didn't seem to dramatically improve. However, you needed to spend at least 4 minutes for patients to feel like they received value from their adjustment. So that's one of the things we learned. Now, chirocare market, now that you understand what services one of the services we'll be providing, is that will be a chain of chiropractic clinics focusing primarily in the southwestern United States. As you can see here, namely Colorado, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, New Mexico, again, Southwest. And in this area, there's more than 60 million people, and it's currently the fastest growing region in the U.S. Also, we know that a little more than 10% of the public receives an adjustment on at least a yearly basis. So by doing the math, we see that our product, our market is over 6 million people. So when we decided that we wanted to do a chain, we also created requirements for each location. So there needs to be at least 150,000 people within a 15-mile radius from where we open the clinic. Following that, in the service market available size, we want it to be at least 32,000 people. So total market will be 3,424 people. And again, I got this number using the average rate of chiropractic use. One of the things we've found is that in a lot of these areas we'll be opening up is that the rate is actually higher than the national average, such as namely in Colorado, Utah, Arizona, California, because people are very concerned about health and wellness, as well as about and are more open to alternative forms of healthcare. These are the three key segments that we will be focusing on in our business. And that's people living with pain or illness, generally daily. They're experiencing some type of symptom. Following is people who live active lifestyles. So these are athletes, people that like to hike or ski or snowboard, do anything physically active. And as they get hurt, they want to get better as quickly and as pain-free as possible, generally avoiding medication, which can lead to other complications and side effects. So they're a big focus in the chiropractic market. Lastly is people that take a proactive approach to healthcare and wellness, which is a fast-growing trend in the U.S. So here is our marketing plan. So we'll have several different marketing plans that we will have going at the same time. Our exterior marketing efforts will start inside. First, we'll identify a local community event, a health fair, county fair, youth sporting event that we want to attend, and then we'll send representatives from our local clinic. We will tend to meet people in the community, educate them on the benefits of chiropractic care, and then obtain leads and potential patients. We'll use this event to schedule new patients and put them through the chiropractic exam. We'll then ask for patient feedback to see how they enjoyed their care. Once they acknowledge their positive feedback, we'll use them to get new patient referrals. So our distribution is actually pretty simple. So new patients schedule and make an appointment at their local chirocare clinic. They come into their first appointment and go through exams, x-rays, and patient education. They schedule their next appointment and first adjustment. These exams are very important for them to go through first so that we can understand fully what's going on with their health. So once they come in and they receive their adjustment, then go through a new patient feedback form, which gives us an idea of how their care went after their first adjustment. They schedule any other recommended follow-up adjustments. So that's kind of our distribution, how we kind of work with our patients. So the key partners we have, I'm going to focus on two main partners. So we're going to set up networks of local medical doctors. This would be a competitive partnership. Obviously, both of us consider ourselves healthcare providers. And so we'll partner with local doctors just to create a referral process. So based for the patients in need of additional care, a lot of people that go through car accidents go to the doctor to receive some help, and doctors often refer to chiropractors. So we'll establish relationships with that. And we'll refer to each other as, obviously, chiropractic is about aligning the spine, helping the nervous system, and that's only a small part of what people face with healthcare needs. So refer our patients that have needs that we can't treat to the doctors we have established networks with locally. We also want to establish a partnership with the top 10 chiropractic schools. As our chain continues to grow, we're going to need more chiropractors to fill those clinics. So as we establish a relationship with the top 10, we will go and provide lectures, seminars, programs on how they can run a successful business. Following that, we would bring in, interns to come and check us out, go through our process. And so we'll be able to, when we need new chiropractors at our new clinics, that we will be able to select the best new chiropractors coming onto the market. So, there are some risks, obviously, with any partnership. Local medical doctors do not always see the benefits of chiropractic care. We do have different approaches to providing healthcare. And so that is a concern at some level. Obviously, there's many doctors, especially as chiropractic kind of grows in acceptance with patients. It grows in acceptance with the medical community. The top 10 chiropractic schools is that new chiropractors might not want to join, and it would be a kind of a waste of time for all parties involved. So key resources. So the physical resources, chiropractic care, we're going to need clinics and things of that nature, and everything, the equipment. It's not a huge burden when it comes to clinics outside of the actual facility, which we can rent to lease. We don't have to own all the clinic buildings. We will plan on owning some, but not all. Financial resources, we'll start by working with angel investors for our first few locations. Once we are self-funding and growing, we'll look to VCs to help us grow at a more rapid rate. The human will be our focus is going to really be building a culture of integrity, high quality, and excitement for the new direction of alternative healthcare we are providing for our patients. Many patients we work with are new to chiropractic care, and having them excited about what they're doing and what they're going through and how their lives will improve is a big part of what we want to bring to patients that come into our clinics. And lastly, intellectually, our intellectual resources will be the trademarking the brand for our company. Key activities. So one of the major activities is going to be sales and marketing process. So we're going to have 3 avenues for marketing. So we're going to have a website, social media focus. We're going to have a direct-to-patient or consumer relation focus. And then we're going to have a patient referral program. So these are our 3 approaches to bringing in new sales or our marketing program. New patients will schedule a first appointment where they'll receive, like I said before, an exam, a very thorough exam, one of the most thorough that they're going to ever receive from any other healthcare provider, where they're also going to receive x-rays and kind of go through some patient education on what the chiropractic care we provide, how it is a little bit different, and how it can benefit their lives. We will schedule their second appointment to get adjusted and receive personal health care plans. We will administer the patient according to their care plan that they agree with, and then ask for referrals once the care is administered. So one of the things we really want to focus on is on website development. As everyone knows, that having a presence online is very important to almost every business nowadays. So we want to make sure that we have a top-notch website. We're going to hire a web developer and put them through the process, you can see, where we determine the material, have them put up the material, evaluate the material, get feedback on the material, have them make changes, do that process again several times until we go live with the site, until everyone involved with it feels very comfortable and confident that the site will be what we want and need it to be. Cost. So obviously cost is important. As you can see from our spreadsheet here, we don't have a lot of costs compared to many other companies. You know, rent, utilities, labor for employees, you know, cost of sales, administrations, and things of that nature. So we don't have some of the major expenses that, again, a lot of other companies have. Most of our equipment is going to be like a one-time purchase, then it should last for 10 years at the very least. So that's one of the great things about this business, is that costs are relatively low. Revenue. So this is a very standard, conservative revenue income stream. So all of our revenue from here is shown from adjustments. This is based on seeing 50 patients a week, therefore 50 adjustments, providing 50 adjustments a week. So the price is a competitive $50 per adjustment. These are very conservative estimates. And this does not include revenue streams that can come from other chiropractic care clinics that we will at other clinics we'll be offering. You can buy supplements and do a few other alternative care costs, such as e-stem, PEMF, and things of that nature. I mean, as you can see here, just an operating income, you know, we have, over $40,000 left over after this, just this year. So we feel like, again, it's a very conservative number, and it shows at us being cash positive. So the metrics that matter to us is number of patients treated, also known in many other companies as total number of units sold. And our estimate is 2,450 our first year. Our customer acquisition cost, how much is going to cost for us to provide care and how much we spend on it. Our net company revenue streams, current operating cost, and cash remaining at the end of quarter. So we really want to make sure we focus on, our cash burn rate, as well as, how much we're able to kind of hold on to throughout the year. So the interviews we did throughout this preparation for this presentation were very beneficial. So there is a huge interest in alternative healthcare from the people that we surveyed. And as we spoke with people, one of the things I thought would be the biggest was cost, and one of their biggest concerns would be cost. But in fact, cost was not nearly as high of a priority as was assumed. So the most important thing that chiropractors can bring to people's life is the value. So if the cost is high, if the service and the quality of the adjustment and their experience at the clinic is high, then is as advertised, then they're going to be very happy to pay these higher costs. So, other things that I learned that were really important stood out to me is just the importance of, we can't do this by ourselves, that working with partners and establishing good networks of people to work with and help is very important to success. And then lastly, I want to say the importance of a strong positive web presence and a good referral program, I think, are going to be the two main sources of growth in chiro care. The business in the chiropractic industry is actually growing. So the growth rate isn't shockingly high, but it's a steady 1.6. But there's a 12% growth in jobs, and which we found to be great, because that means that there is a bigger need than the growth rate necessarily indicates. and there are only, as we looked at our competition, there's only 6 other major chiropractic chains operating right now in the U.S. So that's a really low number. And that's 6 chains trying to cover more than 300 million people. So we feel like that's something that we can easily work around and compete aggressively in and do very well. The benefits and uses of technology in chiropractic aren't overly staggering, but there is enough changes in the equipment that's being used and some of the additional alternative healthcare being offered. I guess resources in alternative healthcare are changing. So as we implement some of these things, we'll continue to be able to offer the best quality care for our patients. One of the biggest things we do need to be aware of and just keep our eye on is that national policies. So chiropractors are allowed to practice in all 50 states, but different healthcare lobbyists do disagree with the effects of chiropractic care, how effective it is. And so they do lobby to try to prevent chiropractors from doing specific things, such as everywhere from being able to diagnose patients to prevent them from even or adjusting. So there's things that we just got to keep an eye on as we move forward. Nothing that is very alarming, but just things that we need to make sure that we're actively voting and paying attention in our state and national levels. So here's our SWOT analysis. So chiropractic is the third largest healthcare industry in the U.S. The industry is growing, and they have lower costs of healthcare for patients. The weakness being not all medical organizations recognize chiropractic care as a legitimate healthcare provider. Results can vary with patients, so an adjustment can really make a huge difference in one patient's life, and the impact might not be as great as in the next. And it's not as widely as accepted by the average public as traditional medical care. So opportunities there's a growing interest has led to greater need for more chiropractic clinics, and then growing demand for wellness and preventive care is also, again, a huge change in the way people consider and want to go about their healthcare. Threats are other healthcare providers are trying to limit the scope of what chiropractors can do. I talked about this with the policies in the last slide. And there's low knowledge nationally about the benefits of chiropractic's abilities to help people in need or that are in pain or ill. So this is lastly, here's our completed BMC canvas. There are a lot of different ones if you compared the two from our initial assumptions. The biggest pivots came from our value proposition, our key resources, key partners, and key activities. We assumed that a lot of people would care a lot about cost, but it was very low cost. And key resources, we saw the need for having many chiropractors to choose from. So connecting with chiropractic schools will be very important for us. Key partners, we added many different groups of people that we saw that as we spoke with and talked with that would be excited to work with us, including local medical doctors. Several local medical doctors really actually excited to have a chiropractor open up in the area. And then one of the things that really stood out as we interviewed people that saw chiropractors is one of the biggest things that mattered to them was the importance of how friendly the office staff and the chiropractors were to them as I walked in. So we found that to be very, very interesting. I'd like to thank you for meeting with us and letting us introduce you to Chiro Care. Thank you.